Hey everyone. Welcome to another episode of Community. I'm so excited to be here with my bestie, Christina Bartold.
Guys, was that not a jump scare? It was a jump scare for me. A jump scare for me. Well, Maria, welcome to your show.
Hey everyone. Is it hey or hi? Hi everyone.
I rotate. Also, my favorite part about it is you look so joyous while you're saying it, so I imagine that's how you think of me.
That is how I think of you. You're so joyous.
You're like a little golden retriever.
You might be the most joyous person I know.
Oh, really?
I think I might give you that title.
What about your mom?
My mom is the person who I was, in my mind, you were competing with. Sorry, Mom. I think I might have to give you the title, though.
Ooh, okay. Taking Philomena down.
My mom has some fears. They are valid, you know.
She has some fears and they're valid.
But she always overcomes them.
Yeah,
Anyway.
we love that woman.
We love that woman.
I don't like where this mic is. I'm going to hold it. Okay. So, what are we talking about today?
My new favorite thing.
I love when we get to talk about actual features because it can be so helpful for people when they're trying some of the stuff out. And
there's so many features all the time, and you're just like, what is happening? And this is one that's actually worth trying.
Okay, what is it?
Trial reels.
Okay. I did an episode a little while ago about trial reels, guys. So if you don't know what we're talking about, we're going to go over it. But it's like one of my top performing, best episodes because I kind of caught it right when it first came out. But it's really changed the way that creators test content. And I think that that's so important because in the world of ads and everything else, we do a lot of A/B testing and a lot of that. But yeah, I just think on Instagram, we kind of just post things and hope that they do well. So yeah, give it to us, Maria.
This is a way where instead of sharing a reel to everybody, which typically goes to your existing audience, and then if it does well, kind of gets pushed out to the whole greater world, in this trial reels, world, you get to test reels that do not at all get shown to your existing audience.
Yep.
So only showing it to people that don't follow you. And what this allows you to do is test a bunch of different things because there's basically no risk. It's only random strangers seeing the trial reel.
Yeah, love.
And then once you've tested some things, see if things are working, then you can publish it to your feed and then your actual audience gets to see it too. Or you let it live in trial reels abyss and it lives there forever.
In the ether.
In the ether. And I have so many that are living there forever in the ether. And the great thing about those ones that live there forever in the ether is some people actually might even follow you from them still.
Yeah,
even though they might not perform the best or they might not get the most engagement. For me, they'll still get likes. I'll still get the occasional follower here and there, catch a stray.
Catch a stray.
So they still put in work for you even when they don't make the cut.
Yeah, totally. Yeah, I think, there's so many creators I'm seeing using trial reels to really obviously test content. And they'll actually just use the same hook over and over again with different videos. I've used this example before on the podcast, but Abigail Pugh will do one where she's eating a burrito with a hook, one that's ultra professional, one where she's walking down the beach. And I've seen all of them, and I actually don't follow her because I like seeing her trial reels because I like to learn about it. I follow her on Threads and stuff, but so it's really cool to see. I think what she's doing is actually just testing. Okay, does this work? And if it does, then which one should get in front of my audience?
Yeah, and the best part about it is you don't have to do the old draft and pray method anymore. And this was something that would keep me up at night, and I'm not exaggerating. Because there used to be so much pressure around reels, around getting it right, getting the length right, doing it at the right time, having the right hook. Does this hook match with the B-roll? Do people care about this hook? So much thought went into it, right? And you really had to kind of try to perfect it on your end and then just put it out in the world and pray that it worked. And those days are gone. And now I create reels in a minute or 2 minutes or 3 minutes, and there's no risk if they don't do well. And sometimes they do great.
Yeah. And it takes away from any of that burnout. You know what I mean? Where it's
and that pressure.
Yeah, where you're trying to put stuff, making sure it's great quality, trying your best, and sometimes it's just not, unfortunately.
No.
Yeah. Okay. Well, what do you think business owners need to know about trial reels in terms of how to use them strategically? What do you think would be the most helpful?
I think they're a really great tool to get out of your own way. And I think it's really important to view them as an experiment, which we always tell people to view social in general as an experiment. But I think it's difficult when you're a business owner because your reputation is really important. And we're trying to establish ourselves as thought leaders and as experts and as professionals. And so if you put out a reel that doesn't really reflect that, it can negatively impact your brand, right? So we put all this pressure on ourselves to make the perfect content. So I think trial reels is that permission to do things a little messier, do things a little more imperfectly, try a few things and see what resonates. And the other cool thing with them is like they give you the time to think about it, right? Because like you could post something and be like, I don't know if this is really on brand or if this represents me or whatever. And then let's say it does extremely well as a trial reel. 3 days later, how do you feel about it now that you've had some time to sleep on it, right? So, yeah, I think that would be my emphasis is like, let it be an experimental tool to kind of guide your content strategy, guide how you feel about things, and follow what's working and what feels good for you.
Yeah. I actually love it, like, the getting out of your own way thing. But, like, another thing is just, like, not to take yourself so seriously.
Yeah.
When sometimes I'll post a trial reel or that might be, like, a bit more controversial, which is, like, not really my way of, like, doing things. And sometimes I, like, overanalyze, as you know, like, sometimes hooks and stuff because I'll be like, oh, like, what if someone misreads that? Or, like, like, then they don't like what I have to say and I, like, don't want to get into it with them or whatever. Virality trauma. And it's actually a great way because I just like put it out there and I see if it resonates or doesn't resonate. I see what kind of photos people are liking. It's a great way for you to be testing hooks, caption, cover photos, editing styles, and really like what we're seeing more and more on social is that the analytics that you need to be watching are like watch time and shares. Like, are people sharing your content? And actually, our mutual friend Allie is doing like a ton. Like, she's posting 3 to 5 posts a day. And like a big part of what she's doing is just testing, like, what are people sharing, making highly shareable content. You and I just watched one of like our, clients, mentors do one about like not why our ancestors like moved from Italy to Canada when Italy's so beautiful or whatever. And he's going viral right now in both good ways and bad ways, but that has nothing to do with his niche. But he's going viral. He's getting shares and no doubt he's getting follows. And so, you're going to be wanting to track some of those things.
Yeah, I think it really teaches you a lot about your own content too, because I feel like a lot of the times pre-trial reels era, I would get caught in the trap of just creating things for my existing audience when my goal is growth. So like the math ain't mathing on that. You know what I mean?
Totally.
And like the content I'm creating for my existing audience, like photo dump of me in Tulum. People who aren't following me, no one cares. No one gives 2 shits about my photo dump of me in Tulum. Like, next. Like, thank you, next. My existing audience, sure, great, yeah. So if I were to post that and, like, just normally, photo dump's a bad example because it's a carousel, but whatever. Do something for my existing audience normally. It might perform, like, pretty well, right? People might be commenting on it. That's great. But it's not actually aligned with my strategic goals of growth.
Right.
Whereas with trial reels, as I'm creating them and posting them, I'm thinking, like, would a stranger care about this? Because those are the only people who are going to see it are strangers.
Yeah,
and
totally.
That's how you grow, is attracting strangers and converting them into your audience, right? So I think it really, if your goal is growth, they're really, really helpful for figuring out how you can create content that aligns with growth.
Yeah, love that. Okay, some other real use cases for trial reels. One is testing offers that are in like a soft launch mode. So if you're still doing a little bit of market research, it's actually a great way for you to be doing market research is just doing trial reels and getting a sense of like, how are people responding to your messaging? Do people like it? Maybe even trying different calls to action for lead gen. Like, what's inspiring your audience? What's getting people excited? And seeing, especially if you do like cold audience outreach, right? Like that's really why you're trying to like generate new followers, trying to get new folks, kind of like what you and I were just talking about. I think a big piece of that is trying different CTAs. Seeking which format builds more trust, right? So if you're seeing that, hey, on a trial reel, I'm getting new followers when I kind of like do I'm completely blanking. A talking head video. I'm seeing lots and lots of engagement there. Or are people doing a voiceover or loving a voiceover over a video of me speaking, right? I know for me, talking head does work. It works exceptional in stories, especially for me to sell. But my best like stuff is stuff that makes me look like an authority, right? So when I'm speaking, those types of things work better. And it gives you a chance to refine your niche messaging. So like, if you have a niche and you're like, I don't really know if it's resonating with people. Are people getting what I'm putting down? Gives you a great way to refine it.
It's a huge tool for messaging. Not only your offers, but your brand, what you stand for, how you want to position yourself, your content pillars, like all of that you can test through trial reels. And you never even have to post any of them if you don't want, or post the one that like does the best and you like the most and go with that as your messaging, right? But if you're like, hey, I want to create this course on, I don't know, grief, and I don't know how to message it. Like, what's going to resonate most with people? Do 10 different trial reels with 10 different messages and then use the one that performs best as the copy on your website.
Yeah,
you know,
totally.
like there's so many use cases for it and really seeing what is going to resonate with people.
Yeah, I love it. So, okay, let's talk about some mistakes to avoid. So what mistakes do you think people should avoid when it comes to trial reels?
One that I was just thinking about is, I mean, you don't want to post two of like basically the exact same reel and like change one word. But I think a mistake people make is they change almost too much sometimes. And then, so let's take the messaging example. Let's say you do one reel that's like 6 seconds, really cool B-roll of like you on this like African safari and it's sick and like you do this one specific message. And then you do another reel where the B-roll is like really boring and it's like a minute long and like you test out a different messaging. The 6-second one's going to do way better.
Yeah, totally.
But it's not because of the messaging. Maybe, like, right? So I think there are more factors at play there. So I think as you're testing different things, make sure you know what you're testing.
Yeah.
Like, are you testing that it's 6 seconds versus a minute, or are you testing the messaging, or are you testing the B-roll? And like when you do too many things at once, I think it's hard to attribute what.
Totally.
You know what I mean? What was the thing?
Yeah.
What was the thing that made this one successful versus the other one?
Yeah, actually, that's like just like a business lesson in general. Like I do this with my podcast all the time. I'm like, I run a podcast ad, I up the social content, I do the LinkedIn, I do all the things like in one hop. And then afterwards, I'm like, oh, how was I able to figure out what worked? Was it LinkedIn? Like, what was the thing that moved? So we can see that.
I guess we'll never know.
We'll never know. The other thing is like thinking that trial reels could fix poor content, which is something that I talked about in the other episode, because basically when trial reels came out, I was like, these are bullshit. These are bullshit. They don't actually work, everybody. Like, just so you know, like, they're bad. And then I actually did one and it, like, performed, like, super well. And I was like, oh, no, the content was just bad.
It was me. I'm the problem. It's me.
Yeah, like, just hi. So what I'll say to you is just keep that in mind. Trial reels can't fix poor content. You're the base of your content. You need to still create good content for it to be strong. But the other thing I would tell you, you never know what's going to pop off.
You never know. You got to be open to it.
We did a reel recently for Hive Up Women that literally I took like a 5-second video of you and I like kind of like shimmying in front of like an archway of our event venue being like, hi, now we run events for 200 women that they call their Super Bowl. Like, ha, ha, ha. It was like one of our best performing reels in so long. And that makes Maria mad.
It does make me mad. And now that I'm on my own trial reels journey, it's happening before my very eyes for myself as well. We were laughing before this episode because I did a trial reel that got so many like impressions, and I was like, wow, this is popping off. So then I published it to my feed, and Christina texted me immediately and was like, oh my God, you're going viral. Like,
because it's so scary because when you go viral, your views go up really fast. Like, so it's like you'll look once, it's 1,000. You'll look twice, it's 2,000, right? So even like when I had Jacqueline Johnson on my pod, because her audience is so big and engaged, that actually happened. Like I didn't go viral, but it was like, I think 20,000 or something. And it was like, I looked 1 minute and I was like, you know, so scary.
And we're a little scared of going viral because of the haters and the trolls.
We're not interested.
But I think to give a learning lesson from my experience with trial reels is sometimes I'll get very invested in these reels. They're my life's work. I think about them in the shower. I think about them on the treadmill. They're constantly occupying my mind. There's this one I'm working on right now. I've been working on for like months, and it's so funny because it's a trend. I've like missed the boat on the trend, but I'm still going to post it. And those ones typically don't do that well.
Yeah.
And the one we're talking about where I was quote unquote going viral took me about 2 minutes to put together.
Yeah.
And you can't ignore the data.
Yeah.
You cannot ignore the data. If you post a trial reel and it goes viral, like it does really well, and you're like, you know what, I actually don't feel great about that one anymore and I don't want to post that one, then don't. But in the grand scheme of things, you have to like let go of your emotions tied to all these reels and what you think is going to do best and what you put the most effort into and what you look the cutest in, and you just have to let the data speak for itself. I think that's a mistake people make, is being too attached on the personal emotional side and not paying more attention to the data.
Yeah, the last one I'm just going to say is just, you know, you said ignoring the data, but also just like really realizing that sometimes the things that you like, your audience doesn't. Mm-hmm, so stuff that you think is going to perform super well. Like, I would love to give you guys social media tips. Like, that would be my ideal state, is me being like, this is how you grow your podcast, this is how you grow your social. Y'all do not engage with that shit. You don't engage with my podcast clips.
Give us Baby Jack.
Yeah. I post one reel of my child. People are like, wow. I'm even doing it all. I'm like, I'm actually, it looks like I'm actually doing more in those other reels, right? But, it is just so telling that, people buy from people, right? And so find what your audience likes, dabble in the rest. Success leaves clues, and try a trial reel. Like, I actually really like them too. I move too fast sometimes for them. I just want them live. And I'm not too attached to the numbers, which is one of my gifts, is I'm just kind of like, YOLO. But I always do watch, like, what performs well, what doesn't perform well. And time and time again, my rough stuff performs well. So I don't just know that about my audience.
Yeah, I think for the overthinkers, the perfectionists, this is a great tool. Get out of your own way, try some different stuff. This feature is available to almost everybody. You do have to have 1,000 followers and a public account. So if you don't have a public account, it's quite an easy fix. If you don't have 1,000 followers, start texting your friends. Come to a Have Women event.
Yeah, start texting your friends, start posting some reels regularly.
And you'll get there in no time.
No time at all. Okay, Mara, any last thoughts on trial reels?
No, I love them.
She loves them. Okay, well, let us know what works. By the way, if you tag people in your trial reels, they can see them. That's actually something I didn't know. One time I was like, Maria, can I post this? She's like, well, you posted it. And I was like, oh, I didn't even realize you'd see it. You were tagged.
You didn't reply in 2 minutes. It's out there now.
But yeah, give it a try. Let us know what resonates with you as always. And keep on building your community, even via trial reels.